far in this Grand Canyon game? I know you took the loss, but just especially when you went back and looked at the film, what'd you take out of that game and what'd you see from the guys in terms of development and making improvements in these last few weeks?
Well, I was just glad to have all of our players back healthy. I thought it helped our rotation. I thought we played with another level of confidence. I thought we were back to trying to defend and play hard. I thought we gave great effort. I thought we followed the game plan. I thought we had a good week of practice. So it was good to not only practice well, but then get back to the court, play in a hostile environment, and just to play away from winning the game. So I was pleased with our effort. It's been a couple of weeks since I thought we played with that kind of intensity and focus. So I'm excited about last weekend, even though we lost the game. I saw us get back to being the type of team that fought every possession, and it may have been our best 40 minutes overall on both sides of the court. Both sides of the floor, and in probably a month. So I was excited about that. We still have some areas we need to improve in and do some things better, but I was pleased.
And this weekend, you got Seattle and Utah Valley.
Yeah.
You haven't seen them since the very first week. So how much different do you think your team is and those two teams are since the first weekend of this conference?
Well, I think our team is different. I think, obviously I thought for a while there, I thought we were playing really well, especially after their game. Then I thought some injuries and I thought some other things. I thought we lost some close games, and we're battle tested, and I think both coaches know their teams better now, and obviously I know our team better. I think Utah Valley has been one of the more consistent teams, but I think Seattle has had some injuries and had some guys that weren't playing. I think they're back to playing again. So I'm sure I would think Coach Pope is a little bit more familiar with this team right now than Coach Hayford, because he's had guys that have been out, and they were out longer than the guys that we've had besides Isaiah. Isaiah hadn't been healthy for a while, so. But he's better now. But, I just think, everybody's fixing their gear up to try to give their very best shot, because I think next week there's going to be a lot of people get to Vegas and believe that they can win it, and we'll be one of those teams.
Knowing you're locked into that 4-5 game, the 2:30 game on Thursday for the WAC tournament, does that change anything about how you approach this weekend?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But just simply because we know we're in that game, we know who we're playing. But it's more about what we can do this weekend as far as preparing for that. If we didn't know, obviously that we could move up in the standings and maybe move down in the standings, you would play a little bit different, because you would kind of be thinking in your mind, all right, if we move up to the number 3 seed, we'll be playing, 6 seed, or if we move down, we'll be playing this team. So now that we know who we're playing, obviously go out and try to win these games. You also try to go out and get some other guys some playing time, realizing that, you're not moving, so it's just a different kind of approach. I think it helps us in a way, because, again, if we were trying to get out of that 4 or 5 game and get into a 3 position or a 2 position, your approach just to the weekend would be different.
Coach, would you be leaning on the seniors like Durham and Holton during the WAC tournament? Durham had a really good game last year in the first round.
We will. Obviously, when guys have had that experience, it's different than getting guys there for the very first time. The thing I do like about our team, we had some guys that play, and like you said, Durham has been there several years, and he's played well there. Actually, those have been some of his best games on back-to-back nights, so hopefully he can do the same thing. I was excited. I thought against Grand Canyon, I thought he played with a lot more confidence than he's been playing with lately. I think he hit some shots that he's been missing, but he's really shot the ball well all last week leading up to the game, and still I think he's I'm excited because I know what he's done there. With Ricky, obviously been in the game last year, has been good, but I just like our team from I wouldn't even say last game. From the time that we lost to Cal Baptist here on senior night, I thought it was just more of I wouldn't even say a wake-up call because I think we were already new. I think it's just changed our sense of urgency that this season is coming to an end, and we better get serious about our business, and that's the approach our team. Our leadership in the last week, including Bray and Subert, Damian and Rick, has gone to another level. And I think a lot of that had to do with losing that last game here in the way we lost it. So I just think we're in a good place. And again, I still think we finally got Darren back to the floor and got him some minutes. Hopefully, Taze can play a little bit more this week and try to prepare him. Obviously, we're going to be careful with him because to play 3 games in 3 days, we got to pick and choose still with him. But again, I feel good about it and definitely feel good about our leadership.
I know you kind of mentioned the youth of the team a couple times this year in interviews, but do you think that youth kind of brings something different to the table that other teams don't have in coming to the WAC tournament, or is it more like the leadership and the experience that?
Well, I think the thing is we've had guys there and they lost and they were part of it, and I think Jarkel played in last year's game, so he had the experience of losing and season ending and not playing anymore. And Justin Davis had that same experience. Greg Lee didn't play as much last year, but he actually was there. So I think you get a little bit of different hunger that you have when guys have been there, and then they realize that this is it. I think that's what happened to us after the Cal Baptist game. I think our seniors this is it. We're not going to be here anymore. So I think there was a sense of we better get this right. We better get there in a hurry. And most of the time as a coach, I often say we get a lot of credit for motivating and inspiring guys, but when it happens within the team, that's when it counts the most. And I think our team is really focused. And as I told them, it's 3 games in 3 days. We've proven, and I think we proved something to ourselves as far as they did after a hard week of work to go to Grand Canyon. And again, if we get the rebound, the ball that was a loose ball, if we get it, we win the game. And I think they realize, I think that their belief, their faith, and that we could go to the tournament, I think it was ignited. Now, we've got to carry that on this week because we're playing, again, 2 good teams. And one of the teams, Utah Valley, is playing for second place in the league. So, obviously, they have their minds, I'm sure, probably of feeling like they're one of the favorites to win a tournament. So we still got a lot of work, but, I shouldn't say a lot of work. We still need to have a good weekend so that we can go into the tournament next week with a lot of confidence.
And how does your team plan to stay focused in these last 2 games, knowing the WAC tournament's just around the corner?
Well, I just think for us, we haven't played as well as we would like over the last 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And, everyone always talks about being in the tournament and talks about leading up to the tournament. You want to play your best basketball. And obviously, we don't feel like we have been doing that, and we feel like we got back on track this past week. So for me, I think for our players, it's a little bit easier because we feel like we haven't had the season down the stretch that we should have had. And some of that was in our control. Some of it was, out of our control. I'm just saying for as injuries and time that the injuries happen. But the point is we're back healthy. There's going to be some teams that are still entering this tournament with some of their players or a few of their players or a few of their key players that are hurt or injured enough that they won't be a factor in it. Again, I think if we get Taze back where he's closer to 100%, we'll have our full team. And since we've had our full teams in games that he's played in and Darren played in, we've been really successful. It's when those guys haven't played or they were injured during the games. Excuse me. So our focus is we've got to put another 40 minutes together against Seattle and do the same against Utah Valley.
Do you have any expectations going into the WAC tournament? I know you said you were looking out for Utah Valley. Any other teams you're looking out for?
Win. I mean, that's all. I mean, we talk about it all year. I mean, it's not something I try to hype up. It's where we want our program to be. Every year, New Mexico State goes into the year with the expectation of winning this league. We've had some other teams that Utah Valley has been second, or they've even won a regular season. Grand Canyon is continuously knocking on the door. So we want our program to be the same way. We finished second, semifinals, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. From now, we won it. Last year, we lost. This year, we want to get back to that. So the NCAA tournament, I think, is when you have one in a league that there's only one team, that's got to be the only goal. I mean, it's got to be the major goal. Not that we don't have other goals, but this is what it's all about. And if we press our team now with a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, with the opportunity given to the NCAA tournament, it's just what we want to do. We can win games. We've proven that. We can beat people, and we've proven that. But what you want to do is you want to have that same feeling, like I said, as New Mexico State has, that every year they're going to play for it. And I think we've got other teams that are feeling the same way. So we're not going to because we're young or because we're hurt, because it's this year or that year. We want to continue to build our program on the expectations of every Saturday night before the Sunday selection. We want to be in that game. And we've got to win 2 games to get into that game. And once you're into that game, then you just see what happens. But we want to play for it every year. And that's our only expectation. That's the only reason why we're going. We're not going to participate or be fans or enjoy Vegas. We're going to win. And if we don't do that, it'll be like last year. We were saddened that we didn't play for it because 2 years previously we had. And we want to do that this year. And, it won't be a successful trip unless we do that.
Any other questions for Coach Lawrence? Take your time, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Lawrence?
Tell Greg hello.